for Pluta channel. Today, guys, I'm doing paid review 21QA119. This here is a confidentially of name requested. Okie dokie. So he's basically said to me, before we start this quickly, let's do a wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Patek Philippe World Time. This is the World Time. This is one of my favorite watches there. Okay, so he's asked me to do a paid review, and he's sent me one of the worst photos I have ever seen. So I'm trying to work out what he has here. So let's have a look. So what do we got here? Let's have a look here. So he sent me, hey, he says to me, please keep my name off the airways. A review for a friend. We'll be doing, okay, he's done a transfer. Okie dokie. So here, what do we got here? What do we got? We got 4 pieces. 4-piece combo meal deal. It's got a Rolex, I think it's a Submariner date. I can just see the Cyclops there. I'm not sure if it's a 40 or a 41 from this photo here, but hey, let's just run with it. So it's a modern steel Submariner. We've got an Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon watch. Looks like a halcyon glass. I can tell upon the reflection. We've got a 42 mil Polar Explorer II. I think it's 42. Yeah, looks like it. The font and the orange hand. The colors are atrocious here. The contrast on this photo is absolutely shocking. And finally, we have a Patek Philippe. Looks like a 5196 in yellow gold. Incidentally, I actually pretty well own each of those models there myself. 4-piece watch collection. And I've got to tell you, let's have a look. We've got a diver. We've got a chronograph, we've got a GMT, and we've got a dress watch. Man, we have got all our bases covered. Absolutely covered. 4-piece collection. 2 Rolex, 1 Omega, and 1 Patek Philippe. And I've got to tell you, in all honesty, what do I think of this 4-piece combo? I think it's absolutely amazing. It's interesting. The 4 pieces, he's got 3 of them are icons. And the Explorer, you could be forgiven for that. But it's a really useful collection. You've got 2 black dials, 2 white dials. You've got 2 manual wind, 2 automatic. It's a really yin and a yang type combo meal deal. I think as far as a collection goes, how many pieces do you need? How many do you need? And it's very interesting because I see so many people, they kind of, they don't know what they're doing. But this here, 4 pieces, think about it. Say you got yourself a Rolex Submariner date. This is a perfect watch. It's a prestigious, Rolex is super prestigious. You could wear that to work. You could wear that sporting. You could even swim with the damn thing. 007 wore it with a tuxedo. You can wear it to your wedding. You can do anything you want with it. Absolutely. Besides go to the moon, which he's got the Speedmaster. So you've got one of the greatest sports watch, probably the most famous sports watch in the world, steel sub date. It's a great anchorage point for any collection because with that watch there, it's just so cool. How could you not love the Rolex Submariner? It's iconic. It's very usable. It's gorgeous. So that's a great forum into the hobby. Then you say, you know what? I'd really like something really different for the weekend. So instead of going for another automatic, we go for a manual wind speedy. And I just mentioned that you could wear the sub everywhere except on the moon. Well, the Speedmaster has been to the moon and back. So you've got a manual wind chronograph, probably the second most famous watch. If the Submariner is number one, the Speedmaster would have to be number two. Iconic to a T. Manual wind, so it's different to your sub. You've got the yin and the yang. One thing I love about a manual wind watch is that it's powered by your chi. You wind it. It's very important. It's powered by your chi. And I can't think of just no date. You don't want superfluous crap. It's just absolutely perfecto. You could put that on a strap, a NATO. You could put it on a leather strap. You could put it on a Zulu. You could put it on any. It's just so classic. It's a chronograph. Who doesn't love an Omega Speedmaster chronograph? It's just iconic. It's amazing. Then we say, okay, we want something a little bit different. We want something as a GMT function watch, something we could travel with, and we don't want the Rolex in your face. I got a Rolex. We're going to go discreet. The thing about the Polar Explorer II is how many sports watches can pull off a white dial? There aren't many. Omega has a few, Breitling has a couple, but I think the Explorer II is kind of the quintessential white dial sports watch. It's the Rolex you have when you don't want everyone to say, is that a Rolex? It's just discreet, under the radar, but it's got the quality, the oyster case. It's an amazing thing. And I got to tell you, once you actually have an Explorer II, you will think it's probably the greatest GMT watch, because let me tell you this, that rotating bezel on the GMT Master 1 and Master 2, it's hard enough to read 24-hour time with a fixed bezel. When it's rotating, man, that's just confusing. You've got an independently adjustable hour hand. You can very easily set the 24-hour hand to local time. When you go somewhere else, you adjust the hour hand. So your 24-hour hand always represents your home base. The beautiful thing about the Explorer II when you're traveling, and I've done this many times, even for going interstate, which is one time, just daylight saving, you might have to go backwards or forwards. The big problem is when you're setting your watch on a plane is that you stuff up the minutes. Not on an Explorer II. So you can adjust the hour hand without it interfering with the minute hand. And that is absolutely priceless, because you can easily flip it forward an hour, take it back an hour, or several hours for that matter. It's really, really useful, because it's always, the minutes are never quite right. When the pilots, I don't know what the hell, the pilots or the head stewardess, they got the most, how do I put this? They got the most inaccurate watches I've ever had. So I want to have I got my minute hand already set perfectly to my yin and the yang and the chi and the chang. You know what I mean? So Explorer II, absolutely fantastic watch to have there. Absolutely amazing. And then finally, we have a dress watch. And what do we want in a dress watch? I was head of the Society for Thin Dress Watches. We don't want superfluous amusement. We don't want diamonds. We don't want functions. We want something simple as possible. What can be so simple as either a 2-hand or a 3-hand watch? The 5196. Not only is this the watch the Sterns introduced when they took over Patek Philippe in the 30s, this is the classic, iconic watch of dress watches. precious metal case, manual wind movement, no rotating bezel or other functions. This is as simple and as classy as it gets. This piece here is a work of art. Every little circle indice is a drilled hole. Do you know how damn hard it is to drill those holes? And I gotta tell you, 5196, many people say, oh, the Patek is better. The Patek Philippe, the Vacheron is better, or this is better. But they always use the reference point as the Patek Philippe. The reference point is the Patek because that's where it all started. That is where it all started. This is the whole thing. The whole reason for existence is this reference point. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. So I've got to tell you, 5196 Patek Philippe manual wind, precious metal, the ultimate dress watch. Yes, the patrimony is gorgeous. Yes, 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 but the reference, it's like a Mercedes-Benz. So many people say, oh, the 5 Series BMW is better than the E-Class, blah, 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 blah. Well, why is it everybody keeps referring to the Mercedes E-Class? It's because it's the industry standard. It is the numero uno that everyone else replaces it. See, if the BMW was so great, people would say, well, oh, the Lexus is better than the BMW. It'd move the reference point, but it doesn't. The reference point stays as the Mercedes-Benz. And this is the whole point. This is a superb piece. Now, I got to tell you, in all honesty, this collection here, what do I think? It's 4 pieces. What do I think of this collection? Absolutely superb. I don't think you'd have to add a damn thing. You could go through life, you could do whatever it is you do, and you would be perfectly fine. There is absolutely nothing you need to add to this collection. What could you possibly add? Look, I got to be honest with you. Anything you add is going to take away from this collection. It's 4 pieces, 4-piece Hunger Buster meal deal. What else could you add? See, everything else you add would be a double up because you've got three sports watches and a dress watch. So what do you add? Maybe we add like a date just, okay, which is a work, casual, not a dress watch, not a sports watch, you know, in between there. But I don't know if you need it because you could wear one of the sports watches, you know. And then, you know, maybe you could say, well, how about you want another chronograph, like a Breguet type? Well, you don't need it. You got the Patek. See, this collection here is so powerful. The only possible thing I could add would be a casual sports. You could add like a date just. You could add a wind and wear, maybe a wind and wear Rolex, like an Oyster Perpetual or a Milgauss, something like that, simple to the point. This collection punches way above its weight. Absolutely amazing. Guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Don't be afraid to put some comments down below. And remember, guys, I spent too much. I got the box. I took money out of my mortgage account. I need some money now. I'm desperate. I am desperate. Guys, I'm actually really short at the moment. I really need some assistance. Can you help me out? Let me know now. Can you please help me out? Please help me out. I really do need assistance from you people. I really do need assistance. Please get a paid review. I spent too much. I got to pay some pipers very soon. Guys, help me out. I'm ArchieLuxury, and I need assistance. I can't survive on the Google ads. I need you guys. Help me, guys. Help me now, baby. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 paid review. I can't survive on Google ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.